Hello, guys. Welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm your host, Sam, and we are back again with another one. And with the late but yet was still coming review of the week, I'm gonna be talking about all the things that happened during the week, the good, the bad, and the rather ugly. They are the ugly in this thing. Usually we were used to the good and the bad, but today they is the uglies, and I'm gonna explain exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about the uglies. Yeah, Liverpool lost, so it is the ugly part of the week. But we have nothing to do. We need to talk about it, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comment section. So do me a favor, click the like button, subscribe to the Football Connect as we get into it. So for the first time after a very, very long time, week 23 is the first week where Liverpool have lost a game and really deservedly lost the game. They really lost it because they were terrible. They really lost the game because Arsenal got them figured out, or they really lost the game because the players just could not compete, or that they just could not compete with this Arsenal squad. So I'm gonna try to explain everything that happened in that game and try to tell you how exactly did Liverpool lost that game. Oh my God, still hunt me, but we have nothing to do anyway. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. So the games that we're going to be talking about: Everton drew with Tottenham 2-2. Brighton beat Crystal Palace by 4-1. Newcastle drew with Luton by 4-4 at the home ground of Newcastle. That is crazy. Burnley drew with Fulham 2-2, and Sheffield United were beaten by Aston Villa by 5-0. The interesting part about the goals that was scored by Aston Villa, they're all the same. Go look at the highlights, they're all the same. And I wonder exactly what was Sheffield United doing. Then Manchester United beat West Ham by 3-0. A convincing win. Birthday boy Hoyland scored a goal, and Garnacho with a double. That was a good game, by the way. Chelsea humbled, destroyed, and crucified by Wolves by 4-2, and we saw Bournemouth drew with Nottingham Forest 1-1. Bournemouth got themselves a red card, so yeah, maybe that's why. Liverpool beaten, dethroned by Arsenal by 3-1. Now that's the ugly part of the week, so and I need to talk about it. Do you know how painful that is? Do you know how painful that is? Anyway, we'll get into it. Then Manchester City beat Brentford by 3-1. Phil Forden with a hat-trick. What a game. So these are the games that were played. We're going to talk about them, and I'm going to give you my thoughts, and I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. At the end of this, we will look at how the table is looking like, as well as some interesting news that are moving around over the football world. So let's get into it. Talking about the bigger game, Arsenal versus Liverpool. It was at the Emirates, and I have to say it, I think we were beaten by the better team. We were beaten by the better team that wanted it the most and that had planned for it. So people are talking about how terrible the second goal was. The goal that was scored by, who scored the second goal? Martinelli. And people are also talking about how the third goal was. But if you are really a football fan, if you really analyze football, the worst goal which was scored by Arsenal was the first goal. It's not about how the goal went in. I know that Alisson saved and Saka kicked it in, and that was a goal. The way Liverpool were opened up, that was the painful part. The fact that Kai Havertz came back, he was playing as a false nine, so he came in the midfield, which meant Konate had to either decide to either mark Kai Havertz or maybe mark who? Was this guy? Martinelli. And if we talk about Liverpool with Arsenal, we always talk about how Martinelli always caused chaos to this team. So, of course, he had to try to find a way to mark this guy. And in the process of doing that, he opened up a gap in the midfield because so many of the midfielders were left in up front, and because of the long balls, they were so exposed. So it meant that they had to keep up and try to find out, because the midfield were all, by the way, left out. They were still in the attacking position, and it was only the defense dealing with Martinelli, dealing with Odegaard, dealing with Saka, as well as dealing with, who was that one? Who was that one? There was another one who was with the ball, Jorginho. So Jorginho had the ball. Odegaard was free. Martinelli was there, also free, alongside with the other guy. What's his name? Kai Havertz. So it meant that Konate did not know who exactly to pick out. Martinelli is always a threat to Liverpool, so they always had to try to fight him out of the ball and keep him busy, as well as now Kai Havertz was adding the number, being that free guy was also chaos that was also waiting to happen. And what even made it worse, the movement of Odegaard moving in and becoming the third option that could be given the ball, and Saka remaining alone on the other side, which meant Joe Gomez could not come in the midfield to try to stop it. So the way, I've never seen Liverpool opened the way we were opened. Go watch the video, go rewatch the game, and you'll see how Arsenal opened up Liverpool like that. It was painful to watch. I would actually, in those moments, I would actually say, no, don't do the highlight, don't do the highlight. It's just too exposing. It was painful to watch, and the movement of the game, the way they went in, and how Kai Havertz, I have no idea how Kai Havertz did not score that goal, but fall into Saka's hands, and it was a goal. Nothing the midfield could do, and they did nothing. And I want to talk about something that Klopp did, which was very wrong, that so many people were not talking about. Of course, Gravenberch should not have been in this game. Makes sense. But the worst part about what Klopp did in this game, I have no idea what I was thinking, was putting Gravenberch on the right side of the midfield of Liverpool. How does Trent Alexander-Arnold always survives some brutal attacks that we receive? It's because Dominic Szoboszlai is always on that other side. He's always helping out Konate in defending. Whenever Trent Alexander-Arnold is exposed up front, you always find that Dominic Szoboszlai always goes and plays it right back, helping out, what's his name? Helping out Konate, and usually Harvey Elliott does it. But the fact that he put Gravenberch, a player who doesn't like to defend that much, the player who so many times loses the ball when the Liverpool is in position, I felt like it was a recipe for disaster. I felt like Liverpool were asking for this defeat. I felt like they were asking for this defeat. How many times did we see Martinelli alone and Konate to move out of position because they'd left him alone? How many times? It was a painful the way we were exposed. Hence, that's why Arsenal was celebrating the way. That's why they were excited with the way they were celebrating, because of how much Liverpool were exposed in terms of fighting and trying to win the game. It was painful to watch, and to those people who managed to watch the game, we can all testify that nobody will ever want to see that again. Nobody will ever want to see that again, and that has to be dealt with. Liverpool has to be better in their defensive. They have to find a way to find a better defensive structure than what we saw. That cannot cut it. That is... I think Trent Alexander-Arnold, because of Dominic Szoboszlai's injury, is injured. I think he has to move in the midfield, and I'm hoping that during this next week, Conor Bradley is back, so that Conor Bradley continues as our right back. Trent Alexander-Arnold start to get involved into the feature of playing as a midfielder, because I'm 100% sure that when Xavi comes in, I'm hoping Xavi is the one who comes in, he's going to make him play as a midfielder, because to be honest, Trent Alexander-Arnold is better as a midfield. Not sure if he's going to play as a midfielder player, like in terms of the side, or it's going to be the DM. And you have to understand when I say the DM, because I think the other midfielders, McAllister and Szoboszlai, will have to help him out in terms of defending. But in terms of spreading the balls everywhere, that is Trent Alexander-Arnold's master power or superpower, which I really feel like they're going to utilize the most going forward. So I don't know. It was painful to watch. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Arsenal were just the better team. The mistakes from Van Dijk and Alisson, to be honest, I have to say they were terrible, but I'm not really worried about them because they do happen to some of the biggest players, and in this moment they happen to them. But it was not even the worst thing that I saw in this game. The worst thing was what I saw from Trent, from the way Liverpool were being opened up. By the way, Trent Alexander-Arnold was not really fit. We were told about that, and that even made it worse. What was Klopp expecting, putting in somebody who still needs to go through some serious training to understand how to defend? Gravenberch is not yet good in defending. He's good going forward, but he's the worst in defending. He's like Trent Alexander. So it's like, I don't even know why. Hence, that's why maybe Konate got a red card. Because what he had to do was too much for this Liverpool side, for this club side. Anyway, let's move on from this. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section over the Liverpool game. Man City versus Brentford. Now, this title race is looking exciting. The way Brentford were beaten by Phil Forden. Haaland was shaky. Kevin De Bruyne was not even in the game, but Phil Forden came out of the game, became the guy who was running everything, moving the game, caused chaos, played so well, and they beat Brentford. They really did beat Brentford, but they're playing them, I think, in 2 weeks' time or even less because of that additional game that they need to play. It's going to be exciting to see how Thomas Frank prepares for Man City. He is the last to beat Man City at the Etihad. Let's see what happens this week at the Etihad. When they play together at the Etihad. Anyways, there's really nothing to talk about. It was a hat-trick. Scored so well. Nice passes. Haaland, I think, assisted one of the goals. One of the goals was a nice control from him. He got the ball from the midfield, moved with it. And that one, I think it was a header. Yeah, it was a header. It was a good game. From Man City, they kept putting Brentford under so much pressure. They were fighting, and at the end, they got their victory, which I think was deservedly. So let's see what happens from them. Wolves were playing against Chelsea, and Wolves beat Chelsea by 4-2. Cunha scored a hat-trick, and Chelsea scored 2. Thiago Silva scored another goal. I think the problem in this game is actually what came out of that game. Hearing that some senior figures, Enzo Fernandez, is asking to leave. Thiago Silva's wife is coming out on social media talking about it's time for a change. If that doesn't scream trying to leave, I don't know what will. And also we were also told that people like Makaya Mundri is also asking to leave this Chelsea Football Club. That tells you already the level of craziness this team is already at, that nobody wants to be in this team. So that has to be a worrisome. That has to really be a worrisome. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section over that game. The other game we're going to talk about is Luton versus, it was Newcastle versus Luton. Newcastle scored 4 goals. Luton scored 4 goals. I've never seen a team that refused to give up like Luton. The way they were putting so much pressure onto this Newcastle team, it's out of this world. As well as Newcastle, I feel like defensively, maybe because they're missing their captain, they're missing their leader, Luton were not really good defensively, but man, they're a threat going forward. Ross Barkley, what he is doing for this team, how much of, I think he deserves to be player of the season if this team remains in this league. If they go far, I think he deserves it, because look at what he's working with. Now I know there's still 1 point. They're the relegation zone, but they're, I think, living the position and they're doing so well. It is amazing to see. I can't wait to see what happens from that one. But it ended up 4-4, which pushed them out of the relegation. I think they're now number 16 in the league. Manchester United beat West Ham by 3-0. Now, I don't know what was wrong. Was Manchester United that good, or Devon Moyes' team just that bad? We saw that Manchester United were developing in the last game, which they won by 4-3. I know it almost went upside down, but they came back and they won the game. It showed some serious things. I was really impressed by how the young kid Kobe Mainoo played, but now came into this one. how West Ham were opened on the left side. They could not deal with the Garnacho. Garnacho was playing so well, was causing chaos, and was moving so well. Everything was amazing. The goal that was scored by Hoyland, the way he held the ball, turned and scored the goal, that was a masterclass performance from him. I respect that performance. That was amazing. And we saw how the West Ham tried to do something, but they could not, and the game ended up as 3-0. Sheffield, before we go to that, I think the worst news that came out of this game was Lisandro Martinez being injured and he's going to be out for, I think, 2 months. 1 month and a half or 2 months. That's crazy. It's a ligament. People thought it was an ACL, but it was not an ACL. He's still in the game, but yeah, he's out for some time. That's painful. Okay, Tottenham 2, Everton 2. That was one of the games. I think one of the most important things we need to talk about this game is that people have not discovered the weakness of Vicario. Vicario cannot deal with set pieces, especially corners. He cannot deal with the player who puts a nudge on him or puts pressure on him, and that's exactly what Everton did. He could not copy with anyone who was just putting some few pressure on them. And if you look at all the goals we just scored were all set pieces. He just could not get himself to the positions where he needed to be. And I actually was surprised by how Everton did this. They were getting so much corners, but it isn't like they stopped taking advantage of how they were getting the better of Tottenham in corners. And it seems like the Tottenham team cannot just defend corners to save their lives. It was an exciting game. Richarlison, by the way, scored amazing goals. The second goal for me was my favorite. The one he scored outside of the 18 area, and somehow the goalkeeper could not see it. Pickford could not do anything. And I don't even blame him, man. Nobody could have saved that shot. It was a serious shot. But I was really, really impressed over how this team was doing and how much they were moving. It's exciting to see exactly how far this team can actually go, to be honest. But it's amazing times, to be honest. Let's see what happens. Brighton beat Crystal Palace by 4-0. Roy Hodgson, somehow I'm surprised he's still the Crystal Palace boss. I was told that the reason why he's still not sacked yet is because Crystal Palace don't know who would come next. So it's a matter of who they find to replace him, not of him still being the manager. Anytime he'll be sacked. Also, Mauricio Pochettino is also going through the same thing. But with Mauricio Pochettino, it's different. They are afraid to sack him because they don't want to be in trouble with the sustainable rules, financial sustainable rules. If they sack him, they have to pay him off 10 million, and doing that will put them in trouble in terms of their books because of how things are looking like for them. So it's exciting to see how that one's going to continue. So the beating will continue. Sheffield United were beaten by 5-0 by Aston Villa. Somehow the goals all look the same. And why is Sheffield playing a high line? Does that even make sense to hear? This team are playing a high line. That's crazy. Anyway, they lost by 5-0. The highest goals which are scored. Bournemouth, they are really full of confusion. They lost a man, got a red card, but drew with Nottingham Forest. You never know what's going to come next with this team, to be honest. You never know. Anyway, as we move on, people, I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Burnley drew with Fulham at 2-2. Burnley's next game is Liverpool. They're drawing games now. It's crazy how Vincent Company is now starting to do some things. Let's see how that goes on. But those are where all the games are which were played during the week, people. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. Which one was your exciting game? Which one did you enjoy the most? And what were you expecting to see as we go forward? But this is how far we've gone. But yeah, as we move on, people, the news that I think is going to shock a lot of people, which I need to tell you. It's breaking news. Liverpool have made their move and contacted Xabi Alonso about being the next new manager of Liverpool. The Bayer Leverkusen boss is at the top of the short list of Liverpool to replace Jurgen Klopp. Now it's a matter of time to see how the talks and the conversation goes like. But Liverpool have already made a contact. It's about to see what the manager do and what their manager decide to do. But it's exciting times, people. It's really exciting times. It's really exciting times. I can't wait to see what happens. Anyway, let's see what happens as we move on. So tell me your thoughts in the comment section. What impressed you over this? I think that's the most important and the breaking news that we can all talk about. Just hearing what's happening at this moment, and if Liverpool can get the job done and trying to bring this guy home and trying to bring him to Liverpool because he's coming back to his former home. Anyway, let's see what happens as we move on. That's what everyone is talking about. That's what everyone is talking about. That's what everyone is talking about. Oh, interesting. That's everything. I'm checking everything, and that's everything that. Yeah, that's everything that is being talked about as I checked right now. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you as well the last thing that we need to talk about, which is who's gonna win the league, people. Who do you think will win the league? What are you expecting? Let me tell you how the league stands right now. Liverpool are on 51 points. Yes, they're on 51. With still on top, 23 games played, 15 won. Man City are number 2 with 49 points, 22 games played. It means they have a game in hand. Arsenal are on 23 points, number 3 as well. They're on 49 points, 23 games played, 15 won, 4 draw, 4 losses. And it goes forth and on like that. Aston Villa are to 46, 14 games won, 23 games played. Tottenham Hotspurs also almost the same, but they are 44 games. Manchester United are at 38. Look at how it is. The top 6 is looking like. Bottom, Sheffield, I think they are going 10 points and still in the game, and their last game that they actually got a better result was a draw. All the others are lost. Burnley, their last 2 games which they got draws were actually the better one, and their last 5, all the other ones were losses, 13 points. Everton, 19 points. Their last 3 games were draws, the other ones were all losses. Luton, their last 2 games were wins, 2 games draws, 1 losses. They are on top, 17 with 20 points. That's how the relegation is looking like. It's exciting times, people. Who's gonna win this league as you look at it, and who's gonna be relegated? I wanna know in the comment section. Remember, in my first prediction, I said Luton will be the surprise package, and at this moment, they still look like the surprise package. Click that like button, subscribe to the Football Connect. AFCON is back. I want to hear your predictions in the comment section. What are you expecting? This is Football Connect, where emotions connect football. And I'm telling you, my emotions were a level high. Hence why this video came late. And hence I've not been smiling in this whole entire video. Still angry. Anyway, I'm joking. Click the like button, subscribe to Connect. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Sam. This has been the Football Connect. I'm out. We'll see you on another one. And again, like the vid, subscribe to the vid. We out. Peace out.